Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Bees. I hope the lighting in this video isn't too weird. It's very gray today and I put my Christmas tree on to combat the grayness, and I feel like the combination of those two things might be doing something just a little bit strange. But in any case, the video I have today is an exciting one. This is probably the first of my sort of year-end wrap-up videos, and these are going to be the 10 best beauty purchases that I made this year. Now, these are not necessarily the 10 most exciting purchases I made this year. They're not necessarily my absolute favorite products of the year, but for me, I think these were all really great buys. Things that I've gotten quite a bit of use out of, things that added a lot of value to my collection. So let's get into it. I think we're going to start with a non-makeup item, kind of. This is from Oont, and it is their Ready for Takeoff Peelable Base Coat. Now, I have been really into my nails in the last year. I have kind of a gray polish with a blue topper on today, and I'm really enjoying the effect. And this has definitely enabled me to play around a lot more with glitter than I think I would have otherwise. This makes glitter so much easier to take off. I don't have to scrub forever and still end up with what feels like sandpaper on my nails. This is so much quicker. I had a little bit of a hard time at first. I noticed that the first couple times that I used this, I think I forgot to sort of wrap the tip of my nail, and I would notice just a little shrinkage. It was like the nail polish was peeling back from the very tip of my nail, and I would just have a little white line that you could see at the tip. So I was a little bit turned off at first, but once I realized that I needed to wrap over the tip and figured out sort of the right amount of time to wait between applying this and putting on other nail polish, it's really made a difference. I quite enjoy this. This was kind of expensive for a base coat. I mean, I'm cheap when it comes to nail polish. For me, $6 is about the upper limit of what I'm willing to spend. And I think this was closer to like 13 or 14, but it's definitely been worth it for me. Let's move next to face products, and we're going to start with a powder foundation. This is from Laura Geller. It is their Baked Balance and Brighten Color Correcting Foundation in Porcelain. And here is what this looks like. I am someone who has never been super into powder or really complexion products in general. They're just not super interesting to me. And a lot of the powder products that I've had over the years have been just things I've gotten as gifts with purchase, or things that came to me in an Ipsy bag, things that came in some kind of set. It's very rare that I've actually picked out an item and used a full-size item that I chose for myself, and it really does make a difference. Got such a better shade for me than I've gotten anywhere else. I mean, you can see it on my hand. It's a really good skin tone match for me. I knew when I got this, I was looking at it, I was like, that little bit of pink that's running through this looks really promising. This is a baked product. It's huge. It'll last me ages and ages. I'll use this to provide just kind of light coverage sometimes, but more often the way I use this is if I've put on a tinted moisturizer. I have one from Ilia that's just too dark for me. I will put this on top, and I think it helps to lighten it up just a little bit. It adds a little bit of pink back into my skin, while that one can veer a little bit orangey. And just overall, this was such a good buy. It's not an exciting product, but it's worked out really well for me. It's not something I use every day. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily something I use more than once a week, but man, has this helped me out sometimes. Our next product is from Too Faced, and it's a bronzer. I believe this is actually the first Too Faced product that I've ever tried. This is their Hot Cocoa bronzer. This came as part of a trio last year. There was a makeup bag in a pretty similar look and a lip gloss. Now that lip gloss was garbage and I hate it. I'm still working on it, kind of, in my project pan, but I've basically decided that I'm going to declutter it at the end of the year. It's just too painful for me. My lips are really sensitive, though they've been getting better. So, you know, maybe magically at the end of the year it will start working for me. But this bronzer was such a win. First of all, look at this little guy. He is too cute. He is too pure for this world. I love him so much. And I've actually used this quite a bit, and he's still there. He used to have some sort of gold glitter eyes and a smile, and he's lost those, but he still does have the eyes and the smile. It does kind of make me sad that as I continue to use this, I'm going to kill him, but he's just too cute. And this is a good bronzer for me too. It's a nice, pretty light bronzer. I don't think this is going to work for you if you have even a medium skin tone, but the tone of it is really nice. It has a little bit of a soft sheen to it, so it doesn't look matte and flat on the skin, but it also doesn't have, you know, glitter that's going to emphasize any kind of texture. This is starting to lose its scent a little bit. It used to smell pretty strongly of hot chocolate, and it's definitely still there, but it's not the first thing that I notice when I open this the same way it used to. But this makes a great bronzery blush on me. I probably should have worn it today. I think it would have gone really nicely with the whole like 90s look that I have going on today, but decided not to go for it. I think that this is a great buy for me. One, because it's something that I would have been thinking about even if I didn't purchase it, because I mean, the minute I saw this little guy, I was like, I need to adopt him. He needs to come home with me, be my child. But also because it just ended up working out really well. I gotten good use out of it. This is something that I see myself enjoying for a couple of years to come, probably. I don't think this is something I want to work on panning because it's just too cute. Also, look at these little anthropomorphic marshmallows. They look so happy about getting eaten, and that's concerning, but also adorable. I have two highlighters to talk about this year. The first is from The Balm. I purchased quite a few of the Balm products this year. It's a brand that I've always really liked, though I have had some quality issues with a couple of liquid eyeshadows that I purchased from them that have kind of put me off them a little bit. But it wasn't one that I'd really explored very deeply, and I had never tried Mary Luminizer, so I purchased one probably 6 or 7 months ago. This is just a mini. The mini is plenty of product. I don't know how they sell a bigger size because I feel like you would never go through it. Here's what this looks like. I was always a little bit worried that this was going to be too golden for me, and it is definitely a gold, but I can make this work, and it looks really flattering. It's a soft gold. It is not the craziest, most blingy highlighter that you will ever see, but it's definitely not natural. For me, it strikes a nice balance between definitely looking like I am wearing highlighter, but not being too overpowering. I think that part of that for me is just that this is a good depth for my skin. I could see how if you were more of a medium skin tone that this might look extra blingy just because there's a lot more contrast there. But on me, this looks soft and pretty. Also, you know, she has relatable problems. I mean, her offenses are being too pretty and too popular. So, like, Who doesn't have that problem? Next, we have another highlight, and this is from Copacetic. I got this in my first Copacetic Cosmetics Cutie box. I've been subscribed for pretty much the entire year, but I've only actually received 2 boxes. I'm going to receive my third in December. I just skip boxes that I don't feel super inspired by, and I think that's been a good choice for me. Otherwise, I would have a lot of single shadows and mini nail polishes sitting around, and let's be real, I already have a lot of single shadows and mini nail polishes sitting around. But anyway, this is the mystery item that came in the Pokemon box, which was the first box that I received. This is the pressed highlighter in shade number 151. And oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. When I first got this, I didn't stop using it for 2 weeks. The way I like to wear this is mixed in with my blush. It adds just this little bit of true pink glow. I haven't encountered too many highlighters that are this kind of color. I mean, this is like a blue-based pink. And usually when I see these pinky shades, they're almost like a silvery pink or leaning on peach, leaning towards gold. This is much more cool toned. It's more poppy. I mean, it's almost like a bubblegum shade, but in a highlight. The formula is really nice. I love how this can transform my blush a little bit. It can take a matte blush to a quite glowy, not, obnoxious glittery, but glowy, healthy looking blush. And healthy is a good word for this. It looks well hydrated, well rested. I mean, this can fake it when I've slept 3 hours and am running solely on Diet Coke. This makes me look like I'm, a completely alive human being, which much appreciated. Thank you, Copacetic. While I have this palette out, I might as well talk about the other contents of it. Here what I have are 5 Luxie eyeshadow singles. Now, I've purchased quite a few Luxie shades over this year, and I think I sort of started my collection right around Black Friday of last year, so there's probably some shades in here that I've had since 2021, but we're just gonna roll with it. And I have really, really enjoyed these. They have some beautiful shine. They are quite unique. I don't have shades that are very similar to what I have here or what I have in my Luxie collection in general. In a lot of palettes, these are a little bit more complex. They're a little bit more sparkly. Let's swatch just 1 or 2 of these. The shades that I'm swatching are Ube and Noir. These have a lot of beautiful shine to them, and when swatched out, I think you can better see the kind of shift that they give. These are great transformer shades. They just add something so interesting to a look, and it's something that I can't get from the other shades that I own. I believe that most of the shades that I have here are their Aurora formula, which is the more sparkly, shifty formula. They also have a shimmer formula, which I think is quite nice. I really can't distinguish entirely between the 2 formulas. I feel that there are some shades that I look at and I'm like, that is definitely an Aurora. Some that I look at and that's definitely a shimmer. But that's 20% of each category. The other 80% could be either one. They're both really nice. Back in April, as my little to me from me birthday present, I purchased this Lorac Mystic Oak 6-pan. Now this came out at the same time as the Fairy Tale Forest palette, which I've shown a lot on my channel, and I purchased that I think probably around Black Friday in 2021. Really enjoy it, really like it. So for my birthday I decided I'd been kind of eyeing the Noir palette from Lorac, and I decided instead of doing that, instead of getting another big 18 pan palette, that I would instead try a 6-pan that had sort of a similar idea, a similar type of color scheme, but more compact, cheaper, smaller, you know, the whole 9 yards. And this is what this looks like, and I am so thrilled with this little guy. There are 4 cool tone shimmers in 2 different formulas. These 2 are more of a standard shimmer, while these 2 have a little bit of a flaky texture to them. 2 mattes. It looks really basic when you just look at it, but on the eyes, the textures on these shades are gorgeous. I mean, these 2 mattes are really all you need. You can go very neutral with this, sort of like an everyday kind of neutral, wear to work type of look, but you could also go super, super smoky. Quality in here is top notch. I'm so happy with this little guy. This has been such a good purchase for me. I really haven't done much traveling at all in the past year, but I'm hoping to change that in 2023. And I think that this is going to be coming along with me on a lot of my adventures because it's so compact. It has a lovely formula. It can give me a lot of variety, and I just like him. The thing that I've realized about myself this year is that I really do appreciate a good IP collab, and one that I decided to jump at was the Tinkerbell collab with ColourPop. This is the Sprinkle a Little Magic palette. I also purchased from this collection the Super Shock trio, and I really like those as well, but this one to me is just a little bit more special. Here is what the palette itself looks like. Now, if you are familiar with the ColourPop 9-pan palettes, these pans are a little bit bigger than what you see in most of the ColourPop palettes. These are the same radius as like a MAC single shadow, a ColourPop single shadow, most brands of single shadows. That sort of standard single shadow pan is what's in here, though these are shorter, so they're not as deep. However, you can fit like a ColourPop single shadow in here, and you can tell that they are a little bit thicker than the other shadows in this palette, but the palette still closes. So I see this as me getting a 9-pan like Z palette that has Tinkerbell on it, as well as 9 eyeshadows. And the colors in here are super, super unique. I don't know that I've seen this combination of these really cute spring greens with these muted pinks. This brown is quite interesting. I don't know that I've seen this color combination before, and I really like it. I've worn this palette to work. It can be very neutral, office friendly, but you also have, you know, this like bold green. I just think it's really fun. It's really cute. I love Tinkerbell. I love how sassy she is. I pulled 2 lip products because for me, 2022, even more than 2021, was the year of the lip balm. My lips have been in really bad shape for pretty much the entire year, and I've been really enjoying my tinted lip balms. So I have 2 here that I brought out. This one I don't think is called a tinted lip balm. No, this is Rum Raisin in the Super Lustrous Shine from Revlon. And it is billed as a lipstick, but a very glossy lipstick. I think that other brands might very well have labeled this a tinted lip balm. It has a little bit of sheerness to it, but this color is just spot on. It's such a good, especially fall shade, but really nice all year round. It's easy to wear. The formula is nice. These smell really good. They have sort of what is that scent? I don't know, like a mostly vanilla with a hint of cocoa or something. It smells really delicious, kind of making me hungry. I'm gonna eat lunch after I finish filming this. And the color is just spot on. I enjoy this so much. I think this is probably what I will freshen up with once this liquid lipstick that I'm wearing starts to wear away, because it's beautiful. And then the other one that I purchased this year, this is Fastlane from NARS. I actually purchased, I think, 3 or 4 of these Afterglow lip balms this year, and I love them. They're such a nice formula. These are more sheer than the Revlon one we just talked about. They give a nice tint of color to the lips. I think that this is probably the lightest of the 4 that I own. Or I guess I own 3. I mean, I own 4 tubes, but in 3 colors. I own Orgasm, Fastlane, and Dolce Vita. This one on me is the closest to a My Lips shade, so it doesn't look like a whole lot on, but it gives a nice amount of shine. It looks really healthy. It kind of evens out my lips and can help to disguise the line that I've often had this year between my lips and the rest of my skin, because that area has tended to be really irritated, really dry, kind of flaky. This is nourishing. It helps that area to feel better while also hiding it at the same time, and it's really, really good. I have Dolce Vita just sitting in my purse and like halfway through it, because it's just the best lipstick to bring with me. It goes with anything. I can apply it without a mirror. I like it when I just want, like something balmy on my lips, maybe as I'm driving home at the end of the day, but it also looks nice, so if I don't have whatever I was wearing at the beginning of the day with me to touch up, it functions pretty well for that as well. Okay, so there are the 10 best beauty purchases that I've made in this past year, 2022. I would love to know what you think of these products, if you've tried any of them, and what your best beauty purchases have been. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did, and have a great day, y'all. Bye!